Hey guys, Rachele here with Amethyst Ascension. If you are new here, welcome. And if you're returning, thank you so much for joining me again. So today we are doing another installment of the Witchy Wisdoms Wednesdays, which is a collaboration that myself and 6 other channels currently are doing, where we go through every Wednesday and talk about another witchy topic. So if you stick around, we are going to be talking about practical banishments. Practical banishments. And I was going to do this ritual for you guys, and like probably some of the other channels are going to be doing, or at least talking about it. But as I was doing some researching, because I have never done a banishment before, I heard this voice in my head saying, do you really want to do that, Rachele? Are you really being authentic? And just like urging me to be authentic. And this is something that I struggled with for a couple of days, because I don't want to put something out there that, for one, I've never done, which that's okay if I said I've never done it, and you know, we're doing this together after research, which kind of shows that anybody can do something if they research it right. But at the same time, it's not something that I choose to do in my practice at this point. I'm never saying never. I try not to say that anymore, just because, you know, the universe will kick you in the bottom, or at least it has me. But so I had decided, rather than actually do a banishment, and the way I was going to do a banishment was to rid myself of like unwanted negative thoughts that really don't serve my higher good. But I thought I would rather counteract that, show you what I actually do in order to counteract that all the time, because I really don't do banishments. So just to back it up a little bit, just want to say that my practice, and I've got like notes here because I wanted to make sure that I did this properly, and I don't normally take notes. But so my practice, I believe that we chart our lives, at least the big important parts of it, before we come into our manifestation, or before we come into this lifetime. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't have free will. I do believe that we have free will, but I do believe that we chart like certain things to happen, certain people that come in our life at a certain time, or certain things that happen in our life in order to kind of push us, nudge us in one way or the other. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that anything is set in stone, but I do believe that we chart it beforehand. And so also, I strongly believe in the law of attraction. So I believe whatever I'm putting my thoughts and my energy and my focus into, that's what the universe gives back to me. So with saying that, I also believe that there's certain struggles and obstacles and even people that come into our lives that teach us. And so I believe that those major, like even tower moments that we have in our life, even though they are negative and they're hard, they are our greatest teachers. And they are the things that are the catalyst for change and growth. That's my own personal belief. So with saying that, I did not want to, I didn't want to banish anything, because I don't want to take the chance of even a thought or something coming in that was supposed to be something that was for my own personal growth. So I didn't want to do that. rather than putting my focus on something that I no longer want in my life, I choose to put a focus on what I do want in my life. And, you know, honestly, if that makes me fluffy, if it makes me all about, you know, love and light, or rainbows and unicorns, then so be it. You know, this point of view, because I have heard people say that, you know, that's just not like reality. Reality is not all fluffy and blah, 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 blah. If you do not think that my magic is rooted in reality, I counter that with, I honestly feel like it makes me feel like my magic is so powerful because it changes my reality, okay? Because of where I put my focus and how I do certain things. Rather than focus on being anti-war, I'm pro-peace. It's all about perception. So anyways, with saying that and putting all that out there, I wanted to tell you that the way that I fight off like negative things without actually fighting off negative things is simply by raising my own vibration. And some of the things that I do in order to raise my vibration, and what I mean by like negative things or lower vibrational things, it's like, let's say, anger, jealousy, depression, anxiety, fear, even psychic attack, okay? I choose to put my focus on other things like introspection, self-examination, essentially shadow work. Before I even knew what shadow work was, I think it's important for us to, and you know, I do feel like that is part of also being on a love and light. Just because somebody says love and light doesn't mean that they're actually on love and light. It's because they choose to project out a certain way in order to counteract the darkness. But light also illuminates the shadow, right? So the shadow has to be, I think you have to go through the shadow before you can actually come out the other end. There's got to be, I believe in yin yang, male and female energy. Well, anyways, that's kind of going off topic, but introspection, shadow work, self-examination, included in that, I think that researching your own numerology, your own astrology, your own tarot associations, you're learning about your personality type. I believe that these are all like doorways into our deeper self, understanding ourself. And that's what I think is part of ascension, is awareness, being aware of those things. Know thyself, right? Another thing that I do, and I forgot to grab, is gratitude work. So right in my journal, or I have like a little gratitude jar that I keep on my altar, and I will write little things all the time that I am grateful for and put them in there. I think that gratitude is something that people, honestly, they forget what they are grateful for, or they take advantage of things. And I just wanted to put a few things out there. Not take advantage, that was not the right word. I mean, they take it for granted. Some of the things that I am grateful for is the ability to walk, the ability to talk, to see, hear. I got 2 hands, I got 2 feet. You know, I get food in my belly. I'm not starving. I have a bed to sleep in. I've got shelter. The ability to go out and walk in the sunshine, right? You know, to feel the sun on my face, the warmth. And right now it's been so friggin' hot. I am grateful for air conditioning. So, you know, some of those things some people don't have that I mentioned. They don't have perfect eyesight or no eyesight. Maybe they can't hear, they're deaf. So those things that we take for granted, imagine what our world would be like if we didn't have those abilities. You know, so I am grateful that I do. Another thing that I do, and more recently, is trying to get out into the sunshine, because the things that I mentioned before, like anxiety and fear and depression, a lot of those things have been have been tied to like a lack of vitamin D. And what is the most natural source of vitamin D? That is the sun. So going out and being in the sun, even if it's like, you know, 10-minute intervals, and just, that's what I'll do. I'll just go out, like when I'm taking Sully, I look at it as like a opportunity for me to go stand out on the deck, because we get massive sun in our backyard. I just lift my head to the sun and I just close my eyes and I just soak it in. And I am very deficient. So this last week, having the sun has been wonderful. I'm going out into the pool. I am grateful for that. Yeah, definitely. Another thing that I do is water. I drink tons of water. It is a life giver. It is a life sustainer. You know, water has memory. So I just got done actually making, which I've got another video coming out. I made some full moon water, which was in Capricorn, which was also the partial lunar eclipse. Made a grid, got more stuff on that, and I'll be talking about how I'm going to be using that in that other video, and my grid and all that. But so I will bless my water that I drink when I take my showers. You know, I imagine the water like blessing me and cleansing me and rejuvenating me. This, I believe, all raises your vibration. But so not only can we drink in it, we bathe in, we can also like use it for divination, right? And water definitely has memory. So another thing that I think that is important in order to help raise your vibration is self-care. I think it is so important. And it's something that I have been starting to allow myself more of. And that includes setting boundaries. You know, boundaries with ourselves, boundaries with others, boundaries of like not watching the news all the time, or taking a break from social media, or even just taking a break from certain people for a while that just continue to drag you down or not really listen to you or not hear you. But regardless of what the problem is, in order to have like self-preservation, sometimes, and some might say that's being selfish, I see it as self-preservation, self-care, setting those boundaries, and I think it's important. Another thing is, and this is where the witchiness starts to come in a little bit. These are all, because this was supposed to be practical banishment, so these are all practical things that I do in order to help raise my vibration. So I surround myself with, and before I did this video, I had just went through, and I'll do it again. This is some rosemary that my beautiful friend Jessica from Pagan Pathways, she sent this to me from her property. I'm gonna burn myself down here. I love it. I love the smell of rosemary. It just smells so good. And it cleanses the area, right? It is a wonderful for protection, as well as many other things. And it doesn't just like completely drain. It doesn't clear out all the good energy also. So it's wonderful. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Another thing I will do is Palo Santo. Because Palo Santo, although, see, like sage, when you run sage through, it just like, it's like all purpose. So it goes through and it just like cleanses everything, all right? And it takes the good and the bad out. It just cleans everything. If you can imagine just like a clean slate, right? All white, just clean. So Palo Santo will actually come in and bring some good mojo, good vibrations back into the mix. So I like doing that. I like surrounding myself with gemstones that are, you know, for like unconditional love and raising your vibration. And so like rose quartz, amethyst. Amethyst is very much like really good for like your psyche, right? Your third eye, discernment, helping you to like decipher everything that's going on in the world, which, I mean, you'll hear more about that on my like my moon one with the 28 days of the moon. What's other stuff? Oh, surrounding myself with like good shows, comedies, good movies, good music. We're listening to music off of a YouTube channel, which is Meditation and Healing channel, which I love. And this is music for, it's vibrational music to help cleanse your chakras. So I'll listen to that. And I started listening to like mantra music and just all that good stuff that helps cleanse you. Certain kind of candles, or making candles with certain things in them that help raise, like sweet orange, that help raise the vibration, like rose. Making your own incense combinations that smell really, really good. And I usually put rose in just about everything, because I believe in adding love into everything. I think that raises the vibration, and it helps like cleanse things. If most everything that you do from a loving place, I think it just changes everything. Surrounding yourself with uplifting people, you know, and using crystals and crystal work and gritting, which is something that you can put your intention into. And, you know, this is something I was talking to, gosh, I can't remember who I was talking to with about this, but I mean, essentially, if you set your grid up in the right place and you set it up the right way with your intentions, and with like selenite towers on the side or whatever, maybe some tourmaline around the edges of it, and then your intentions all around it in the crystals, and then you put it by a window. You want to make sure that the crystals are of lighter nature, because the sun can dye out your crystals. It can lighten them. But if it's something that you don't care about that, and it's more about the energy for you, not necessarily the aesthetic, put it on like an altar, put it by the sun or whatever, and it will continually keep on recharging itself for you and clearing itself, if you got that selenite, and protecting it from negativity or anything that can be attached to it because of the grid around it with the like the tourmaline, the black tourmaline. So, and then amplify it with crystal quartz. You know, it's just wonderful. And unlike a candle, which I love candle magic too, but unlike a candle, you don't have to worry about your animals jumping up on it, or you walking out of the room and leaving it on and accidentally causing a fire or whatever. Crystals, you don't got to worry about that. It just continues to do that work for you. It's a continual process. It's wonderful. So yeah, I'll do that. And I'll do tiny little rituals like lighting a candle, doing some spell work, stuff like that, in order to raise my vibration. I will go outside. I will take my shoes off and walk in the grass, making sure that I am not hitting any soli bombs in the yard, you know. But grounding myself, and as I'm watering my plants, which I am so proud of, they're doing so good, I will talk to them as I'm watering them, and it just brings me up. I will do daily affirmations, looking in the mirror and doing affirmations to help raise my vibration and give myself a little bit of self-love. I'll delve into learning projects, such as right now I am really learning a ton about astrology, both Vedic and Western astrology. And that kind of goes back into your shadow work too, because I feel like the more that you are learning about what's written in the stars for you at your time of birth and now what's going on, it gives a little bit of a deeper level of understanding. And from that understanding becomes an awareness, right? So the next time maybe somebody says something, you're not triggered, you're not offended, you know, you don't take it personally. You understand, you look at the bigger picture, you evaluate why somebody is doing something, including yourself. But you're just not so quick to react. That's the whole point of like shadow work, I think, honestly. And I try to focus on the now. I don't try to focus on the past unless it's something that I need to focus on in order to help with my evolution. Something that's productive for me, not something that I just keep pondering on and it keeps me in a different state. And I'm not trying to be all focused on the future either and worrying about, well, this could happen or that could happen, or, you know, appreciating what I have now. Those are just some of the things that I surround myself with. You know, roses. Even when it comes down to things that are aesthetically pleasing, your home, your surroundings, make it something that you want to be. Even if it's just a little altar, or you think someone's going to say, oh, that's silly, right? You don't got to have that. That's just, you're just being an aesthetic witch, right? But here's the thing. Even aesthetics. If you walk into a room, and this is partially why Feng Shui works also, is because if you are pleased and being in a room and you see these beautiful things, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What's beautiful to me doesn't necessarily mean it's beautiful to you, and vice versa. So if there's something that is beautiful to you in your home and you walk in and it's like your retreat away from a hard day or whatever, and you come in and you've got your beautiful things around you and you've set that aesthetic, you're raising your vibration right there, because your body instantly lifts up. Right? And then you set these things around you just the way that you want them. So, other things that I do also. I will take like my pendants and like the water that I'm making. I'm going to cleanse my pendants, and I'm going to put intentions on them in order to help raise my vibration and bring about psychic awareness, psychic discernment, intuition. So, all those good things. So this has been, I know I've kind of went on and on and on, but I find it, I think that this is really, really important for my practice. You know, other things also that I have done. Even simple things like this. Somebody can look at this and be a naysayer and say, how do you know that really works? Blah, 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 blah. But first of all, I think it's beautiful. So it's aesthetically pleasing to me. I walk in and I see it. It brings me joy, so it raises up my vibration. But the belief that I have in this object helping to protect me from, let's say, 5G that's coming. If you don't know what I'm talking about, research it if you care to. But the electromagnetic waves that happen, right? If I believe that it's going to protect me, there's proven tests now that the placebo effect works. So isn't that what real magic is all about? If I believe, so shall it happen. It turns it into my reality, right? So that's how I protect myself, is by raising my vibration and where I put my focus. And it's not on banishing, it's on focusing on what I want in my life, not what I don't want in my life. So I am sending you love and light.